There's this thing that I've been seeing and hearing from people on either the internet or in person, and it's always, I'm a small creator, or I'm a small artist, or a small whatever. And if you want to have a growth mindset, you really have to stop saying these things about yourself. It's pretty interesting to see when you reframe that mindset, the doors that will open up for you, whether it's in your art, your content creation, in your career, whatever arena that you're trying to find success in. Having that shift in mindset makes the world of difference. And I want to show you how to do it and kind of why it works. First of all, let's talk about how this small mentality is a limiting belief. And if you haven't heard of a limiting belief before, it's basically just something that you believe about yourself or somebody else that limits their potential or growth. And saying that you're small all the time is a limiting belief because it keeps you in that mindset of being a small creator or a small artist. And just a caveat, there's really nothing wrong with being a small creator or artist, but most of us have the intention to grow in our careers or whatever we're pursuing. And continuing to say that you're small is not going to help propel that growth. The words that you use shape your reality, and continuing to call yourself small all the time is going to perpetuate that reality for yourself. It also promotes a scarcity mindset, that whole starving artist thing that we've all heard, that is a whole other subject, but also the same. Think about it. If you're calling yourself a starving artist, you're going to continue to starve because that's just how you see yourself. I also think that thinking of yourself as small can kind of prevent you from taking on bigger projects that maybe as a creative you're ready for, but in this limiting mindset you think is beyond what you're capable of. And that limits your growth, because the more that we expand what we are doing and the more projects we take on that might be a little outside of our comfort zone, but we want to do them, that is where growth happens. I think that there's a difference between taking on projects that you don't want to do versus taking on projects that you do want to do, but maybe you just think it's a little bit too much for you. I think that stepping outside of that comfort zone is a big deal as long as it's something that interests you. But if you're constantly saying that you're not ready or too small of an artist to do that, or you're too small of a creator to make that video, or you're too small in your career to go for that promotion or whatever it is, then you're going to continue to be stuck in that spot. If you try making the big thing now, that puts you in the seat of that big creator that you want to be. This next thing is something, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know we don't compare ourselves to others here on this channel. That's just something that has no benefit. It's not going to help you in your growth to compare yourself to another artist or creator or person in your field. Taking inspiration from them is one thing, but comparing yourself and thinking like they're so much better or bigger than I am or whatever it is a totally different thing. I think that we have to just drop the comparison to others thing completely. And I don't think I have to say much else about that. Now that we're kind of familiar with what that small mentality is, I want to talk about how you can work on changing that mindset for yourself. The first thing that you can do to kind of work on this mindset is simply just choosing better words to use to describe yourself. So instead of saying that you're a small artist or whatever it is, say that you're like an emerging artist or a growing creator, or just call yourself an artist or a creator. Just switching up that one simple thing, like what you call yourself, can make a big difference in how you see yourself, because that's kind of the point of this whole thing. Another way to kind of reshape your mindset around all this stuff is, rather than focusing on your current follower count or how much art you've sold or how successful you've been in your job so far. Refocus on providing value, and whether that means in your content you're providing value, your artwork is the value that you provide, or if it's like in your career, providing value at work somehow, whatever the area is that you're trying to like progress in, focus more on how can I provide value in this situation. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do everything for other people. You're still doing these things for your own personal growth. You're just reframing it to think, how much is what I'm putting out there worth? And spending time on the things that are worth the most to you and to your audience if you have one. The next little mindset shift that you can do is step into the identity of the person that you are striving to be. So it kind of goes back to that like manifestation thing a little bit and visualization, but it's more of a being that person. If you've heard the ideology of be, do, have, it's basically where you be the person that you want to be, or be the thing that you want to be, do the things that it takes to get there, and have the thing. So you are being the successful artist, you're doing the things that you need to do to get there, like making the art or whatever it is that you're pursuing, whether it's content, career, whatever. And then you, as a result of doing all those things, have the success and have the reframed mindset and have whatever it is that you're striving for. So stepping into that identity is the first step of getting there. Now that we've kind of cleaned up the mindset around all of this stuff, let's talk about action steps for growth. The first thing that you want to do is define your vision. So that just means defining who you want to be and what does success look like for you and what do you want to achieve. I would definitely recommend writing these things down. I think that this type of work is a lot more effective if you are writing it down and referring back to it over and over again to kind of keep yourself accountable. But write down some specific goals and specific traits that you want in order to be the best person that you want to be, and stop thinking in this small mentality. For me personally, I want to be as real and myself as I can, as authentic as possible in the content that I create, so that I can provide real value to other creative minds. And in turn, I get to connect with the creative community more. And I get fulfillment out of just putting these things out there and finding like-minded people. You can also celebrate your wins. That is something that a lot of people don't do. And it can be something as simple as celebrating a small win. It doesn't have to be like a major thing. You don't have to accomplish some giant thing in order to celebrate. And that also includes reframing your thinking around small achievements. So if you're thinking, I only have 500 followers, rather than thinking that, think of it like there are 500 people that are interested in what you are creating or what you're putting out there in the world. Or if it's something like, I only painted 4 paintings this year, if you can reframe that thinking to realize that you put out 4 unique artworks this year that would not have been in existence if you hadn't done that, it puts a lot more value on the work that you're doing, especially like intrinsic motivation and value from within. You also should really be investing in yourself and your own growth. And that means taking actions that reflect in your belief of your potential, like putting what you create out into the world, or taking on that project that you want to do, but maybe you're a little intimidated by. It also means learning a new skill, which is something that is invaluable and you can carry with you forever after you gain those skills. Networking with other creatives or people in your field is also an investment into yourself and your growth, because you can get a wealth of knowledge from other people and share what you know with them. And it creates this community that feeds off of itself and really helps each person involved in their path to being the best that they can be. Another way that you can really invest in yourself and your growth is being consistent. I think that that is something that we all struggle with because we have to put so much into these things that we're working on, and if we don't see immediate return or immediate recognition about what we're doing, it's easy to just give up and stop. But that is where you lose momentum. It's important to really push past that and be consistent, because you never know what's right around the corner as far as your success or your growth is concerned. And I'll just mention this one last time because it is very important as far as promoting success and forward movement in your life, is to not compare yourself to others. Like I said before, it's fine to get motivation and inspiration from other people, but when you step from that into the realm of comparing yourself to them and thinking that they're better than you or bigger than you or whatever, that's when it becomes damaging. Every person's journey is unique, and it's important to focus on your own success and your own journey rather than comparing yourself to other people, because it all happens differently for everybody. I would love to hear in the comment section below what your goals are or what steps you're taking to kind of reframe your mindset to get the most out of life that you can. And just remember that the only thing that keeps you small is the mindset that you choose to carry. And all of this is within your control, and it's all something that you can change for yourself. I sincerely challenge you to drop the word small when you're describing yourself and talking about yourself. And I really thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.